Which is better, enrolling your users in auto billing or invoicing monthly? Now, this is a common question that most SaaS business owners make. This is a common question that they have as far as, should I be invoicing my customers or should I be enrolling them in auto pay, right? Now, then again, depends on whatever camp you're in. Just stick to this video, and I'm going to go ahead and cover the pros and cons of doing both. Okay. So first thing first is, should I allow my users to enroll automatically? Now, this is very dependent on your business in the sense as to if you want them to enroll automatically, if you want them to pay monthly, it honestly depends on your business, because here's a few caveats that you have to pay attention to. Okay. And this is basically, I'm going to just throw the slides away. Okay. And I want to just talk to you pretty much. All right. Is how many users do you have? Okay. And then you also have to consider how many users do you have? And I also want you to consider, your staffing as well. Okay. Now, I also want you, let's take it for example, if you are a real estate agency owner. Okay. What that means is you own a real estate agency, and let's say you have agents that are basically working with you and they're using your Highlevel account, right? Should you be, invoicing your agents monthly, or should you be enrolling them automatically? I will put them automatically, because then again, they are your agents and they work with you. You pretty much, they're using your service, right? That's one. If I am a agency, such as a lead generation agency, or whatever agency that you happen to be, if you go ahead and you say, I'm going to charge them for Highlevel monthly, what ends up happening is people don't see, like, if they don't see results, okay, and you keep billing them automatically, then you start getting a lot of complaints. The reason why automatic billing can go wrong and can also go right, it all depends on the service you're providing, right? Now, most of you are familiar with ClickFunnels or have in some way, shape, or form used like any like application for the most part. I mean, it's 2023. If you don't use any application, you're probably living under a rock. And if you're living under a rock, then you shouldn't have YouTube. So I'm assuming that most of you have used other applications that you pay monthly for, right? So if your Highlevel is pretty much structured in a way in which it is a service based, okay, service, okay, whatever it is, service, you're providing a service, right? And Highlevel is more of an upsell to the service that you're providing. Invoicing 100%. Okay. Let me just go ahead and catch up with myself here. Okay. Invoicing 100%. Okay. I want you to invoice, because here's the reason why. As to one, it requires you to jump on some sales call. Right? It requires you to maintain some element of relationships, because if I'm invoicing you, then more than likely the amount of money that I am invoicing you for, because it's a service, it's not $200, $300. Like, for instance, our average invoice is around $1,200 to $1,280 is how much we average. That's our average invoice. And we have customers on the high end paying about $2,000 a week in invoice, right? I will not auto bill that, right? It's like, imagine you see a $1,000 debit automatically billed from your account. You're like, then you go into rationalizing, why am I paying for this, right? Why am I doing this? Why? But then versus, hey, you jump on a call with a sales rep or one of your staff or your account manager, as they call it, quote unquote, account manager, which is just code for salesperson. You jump on the call and then they're like, hey, listen, this is a service. This is the results. This is the results we've gotten for you so far. Would you like to continue? Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, because people are very result based, very result driven. Like, we subcontract a lot of our work. And before I pay an invoice, I'm like, what did you do? I want to see the work. Oh, I did this, I did this, I did that. Okay, perfect. Here's the invoice, right? I need to see progress. I need to see progression, right? So that's where invoicing comes in as far as Highlevel is. Is your service very much result driven, right? Is it result driven? Then 100% it makes sense for you to invoice. This video is way shorter than me having to do that, but then 100% go ahead and invoice them, because it's a service result based driven, right? Now, if you're just doing, let's say people who, sell Highlevel texting features, calling features, emailing features, I mean, that you could just auto bill, because that's just a feature you're selling. You're not really providing any element of service. And usually that's a low ticket item, right? If I'm charging you $300, that is genuinely a low ticket item, right? You can still jump on a call with them and say, hey, you're going to be billed. That's fine. But that's not something that kind of reaches a high pain threshold for a lot of people, right? And also, you also need to factor in as to if you have, like, our user base is still in the low hundreds, right? So we don't have too many users to justify an auto bill, right? And also, if you're familiar with Highlevel, you understand that Highlevel has one caveat, which is the Twilio rebilling, right? Twilio rebilling and then the email rebilling. What ends up happening is if you don't explain this to your users and then they just start seeing an auto debit of 10, 15, 10, 15, 10, 10, 10, they're like, why am I getting debited this, right? Versus if you jumped on a call with them and you explained to them, you said, hey, listen, this is what's going to happen. This is the auto bill. That's just a side note there. But where was I again? For the most part, is just pay attention is to your user base, right? How many users do you have, right? If you have 400 users, then I will justify auto billing because you don't want to hire the amount of staff you would need to hire to jump on that many calls would be, well, a little bit enormous, right? So I would not at that point. It doesn't make any sense to hire a lot of people. So you could just do automatic invoicing. And usually, if you have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, then more than likely you're selling a lot of lower ticket items. There's a few people out there that are selling SaaS services for the high thousands. If that's you, I salute to you, right? So one of the things also that I want to go ahead and do here is I want to go ahead and see if I can jump on. I want to go ahead and see if I can jump on. Let's jump on the whiteboard, right? And most of you know I like using my whiteboard here. Let's go ahead and come up in here, okay? So, for instance, staffing wise, okay? How many staff members do you have that you can be able to use to, facilitate your invoicing calls? And when I say invoice, not just like send them an email and expect them to pay an invoice. I mean, actually send them an invoice, get on the phone with them, and then they pay the invoice. We don't send invoices unless somebody is on the phone with. Most of our clients are watching this video right now, and most of you're either going to talk to Dickie, you're going to talk to Zarian, you're going to talk to Des, you're going to talk to one of the members of the sales team. But no one signs up for an invoice unless we actually communicate with you. Okay, we do weekly and we do bi-weekly, we do monthly invoices as well. But invoicing, you want to do it usually. There's just a little caveats with invoicing. You either want to do bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks, or you want to do monthly, or you want to do yearly, right? Reason being, it's just lower transactions, right? You don't want to have too many transactions coming in. That's just me because my accountant looks in and she's like, oh, hey, you got way too many transactions. I'm going to work more. So which means I charge you way more money. So that's just a catch-22. But how you decide to set up your Highlevel, your structure is completely up to you. I would say if you're getting started, definitely invoice. Once you get really, really bigger in the game and in the business, then you can go ahead and justify having a auto bill. And also, listen, guys, just go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll go ahead and answer any questions that you might have as far as high level marketing. And if you guys are interested in how to build your own personal software, now that's a little bit more of a program I'm going to be rolling out in the next few months, but I'm going to be releasing a training program as well for how you can build your own like softwares for the most part. But for the most part, hey, if you don't have Highlevel, then there's going to be a link in the description, www.riznresults.com/Highlevel. And now go ahead and give you the 2 weeks free trial of this beautiful tool out here that gives you the ability to do everything that you need to grow your business. And if you need training on it, there's also going to be a link in there, www.riznresults.com/Highlevel intros, to go ahead and book a 30-minute free consultation call with one of my high-level experts. What they will do is they will analyze your business, come up with a training plan for you. The training plan is paid, just an FYI. So, you pay for a package, you get trained on Highlevel on the agency side and on the user side. And if you need more support, you can hire a virtual assistant from us, and we'll be able to provide you that support as well. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys for the most part. And like I said, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and also go ahead and leave a comment in the below on what other questions you want me to answer. And that's pretty much it. For that, I say